My name is David Lipschitz. I'm an energy expert. I develop software, I design and install renewable energy systems, photovoltaic and thermal, which is hot water heating. I'm also the chairman of an NGO, a non-profit organization, non-government organization called Free Life on Earth. We're here at Jonathan Deal's farm called Gecko Rock, which is near Toes River, 25 kilometers south-southeast of Toes River.
My name's Jonathan Deal and this is a property called Gecko Rock. I suspect that although title deeds say it belongs to me, it doesn't really. It's been lent to me by the powers that be, by the Lord in fact, and it's my job to look after it.
Essentially, Jonathan was mainly interested in providing energy for this farm and specifically for this house.
So here we are pouring concrete. This is a tracker, mounting for a tracker. It'll take, in this heat, 24 hours to completely set, and then tomorrow afternoon we'll put the top of the dual axis trackers in, and we will put the solar modules on them, and by tomorrow evening we're going to have electricity from the sun.
So we put in 675 amp hours of batteries at 24 volts, and Peter and I expect that Jonathan will be able to have 3 days of off-grid energy supply, assuming that he uses the implements that he told us about.
This is the inverter, solar regulator, 2 battery DC boxes, AC DB, DC DB, and that's my level. These are the link wires for the positive and the negative.
And we've got a battery bank with 3 24-volt banks of 225 amp hour batteries. That's 225 times 3, which is about 675 amp hours of batteries. This is the main combiner box for the solar array. We've got 3 masts going up, and the cables come into this box, and then they get put together with fuses and so on, and then one cable goes down into the battery bank. So this box is called the combiner box.
If you get any heat build up here, or here, or here, you'll lose lots of watts, and you don't want to lose any watts, so that's a very important part of the installation. Just these 2 little connections here.
Now we've done the main cable into the combiner box, and now what we're doing is you're running the 2 cables that go to the other poles. When we're finished here, we'll go to each of those poles and we'll wire the cable into the box on the pole, and then once that's done, we'll go and get the frames and the trackers down at the house. We'll put those on, and then we'll cable those into the boxes. This thing is called a module. The whole thing is called a panel. It's going to go on a mount, and then it's going to be called a string. These are solar panels, solar photovoltaic panels. Each one of these is polycrystalline. Each one makes a half a volt. So if you multiply all this together, you've got 48 of these, making 24 volt system. 24 times 3, 72 volts. We have a system on a pole with 3 solar panels, and what we do is those 3 panels come into a MPPT controller, which takes the DC from the solar panels and optimizes it to go into the batteries to charge the batteries. This is the MPPT charge controller. We've got a circuit breaker here, which is taking the battery, connecting the batteries to the MPPT controller.
We're going to connect all the panels in series, and then the ends, the positive and negative on the ends, we're going to bring down into the box here. And then we test the voltage, should be 122. 122, 124, there we go, string 2 voltage, 124.5, and then we switch on. Oh, it's beautiful, eh? Pure power from the sun.
This connects us to the array. We're going to switch it on now. We can see we've currently got 0 kilowatts. Switch on. In 122.6 immediately. It'll start tracking.
It says wake up, it says tracking. You'll see it'll change the voltage and the current. So it's going down and up till it finds the maximum point. That's why it's called a maximum power point tracker. So it changes the voltage until it hits maximum kilowatts. It shows the battery voltage 25.5 out. Shows the input voltage about 90 volts in. And it shows that we're getting 600 watts, which is 0.6 kilowatts. 1.6 kilowatts of panels, and with 5 peak sun hours we expect about 8 kilowatt hours a day from the array. So we've got 1,620 watts or 1.6 kilowatts of panels. We decided to use Tenosol because they are certified panels, they're listed, they get exported to France and Germany, so they're very good quality. We expect that they'll last 20 years.
But it'll take a long time to recover the cost of the system, but it's wonderful to know that it's always there. It doesn't matter if Coburg slides into the sea, actually, I'll still have power. The outside world doesn't really affect us here, and we want to become self-sustaining. We want to become self-sustaining. We are already, in terms of our pumping of our water, of now electricity, and we want to become self-sustaining with food as well. I must admit that 10 or 15 years ago I used to spend money on expensive sports cars, and I've seen really the ridiculous, the stupidity of that, and compared to doing something like this. So yeah, you know, it boils down to responsible choices, and I get the feeling that the entire community worldwide is actually pushing the envelope of sustainability to such an extent that, you know, that we've just got no clue. In fact, I actually think that we might be a bit pessimistic, but I think I'm the last generation that is actually going to have a reasonably enjoyable life here on Earth. I think that we've pushed the envelope too far already.
If you want to reduce your cost of living and make a difference for yourself, your children and your grandchildren, talk to David at my power station 021 551 9935.